sing it together. P-E-A-C-I-N-G. Get together. This was inspired by a U2 song. I was trying to write a poem and I couldn't write it. And I was sitting there thinking, God damn, I need to write it. Like I was constipated, man. And I kept watching this video of Cedars of Lebanon. And finally I said, fuck it, and went to bed. And then I woke up and suddenly this poem came to me. And maybe it's shit. We'll find out. Piecing it together. On my line either. I'm still piecing together this puzzle that's never really been apart, except through my own narrow, too close perception. On an atomic level, with all these hard-to-see electrons spinning in apparent chaos and not thought about me, it's easy to feel my whole you and I verse is out of control. From a broader perspective, it seems the electrons, protons, and neutrons are all in their proper places, making oxygen possible, which in turn combines with hydrogen to make water possible, which in turn makes me, who in turn makes these words fluid, or tries to do it. I suppose any line I see on the horizon between Adam and Eve would be illusory, as if between morning and eve, between birth celebration and death grieving, between coming, maybe coming again and then leaving, between unwittingly revealing the truth and intentionally deceiving, between you and me even, and what seems outside of us and not about us, and still somehow about us after all. I'm still piecing together this puzzle that's never really been apart, any more than the sea and the sky on my horizon. Sea, part of sky after all, evaporating, forming and filling clouds, clouds, and more clouds, dissipating and falling again as rain. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. No matter how many times I shampoo my mind, I find myself all wet. Like last night's dishes, soaking in the sink, waiting for me to get to washing them. Hot water turned cold and feeling greasier than it did last night. Not making the dishes any easier. And here I am trying to write a poem? Thinking maybe there's no line between this poem and those dishes in the sink of my life. Wondering who I am in this analogy after all. The silverware, the poem, the dish rag, the pots and pans, the water, the grease flowing from one to the other and back, and eventually down the drain. Or this whole kitschy sink, drink and all. And even when I can no longer function, I wonder whether I will outlast this crumbling house about me. For it seems there is only a man-made line between sink and house. Between functioning, not functioning, and simply being. Between washing last night's dishes and this morning's poetry. Between last night's poetry and this morning's dirty ass. Between this and that, between these and those, washing my legs and washing my knees. Between this and that and those and these, utilizing my legs and utilizing my knees. Wiping this poetic plate with the last one's electrons, protons, neutrons, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, dirty cleansing water, and words. I fish for my favorite poetic cup. Catching another I like as well. But never catching the horizon, I hear tell is that in there, out there, somewhere, sure as hell is of this you and I verse, fishing for clear categories, though there's been no horizon on my line yet, and as far as I can tell, there never will be. I've had my hands and hooked in this sink for 43 years so far. Rinse and repeat, and for what? Maybe because I'm a poet, and the sink is my poetry, or because I'm a human, and the sink is my me.